Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our SDS E-Business Server webinar, Hashed, Encrypted, Keyed Up. We are excited to share information on supported encryption, hash algorithms, upcoming enhancements, and other product highlights. We will be providing a Q&A session today after this presentation. If you have any questions at any time during this webinar, please send them to us in your chat box. Remember, you can also send us your questions at any time after this presentation via email at info@sdsusa.com. Here's our agenda for today. First, we will be introducing you to your hosts and telling you a bit about Software Diversified Services. We will be presenting our eBusiness Server or EBS overview. This will include general encryption security information, some of the latest data breaches, eBusiness Server encryption, and security information. During the enhancement and release information for the distributed environment, we will be covering the version 9.0 eBusiness Server release and some of the past EBS enhancement and general product updates. We'll then go into the mainframe systems upcoming version 7.8 eBusiness Server release information and past most recent enhancements. This will include an opportunity to see our new ISPF screens. During the summary portion, we will show you how you can get in touch with SDS when you have questions, or if you'd like to submit an enhancement. This will be followed by a Q&A session. Okay, so let's get started with the introductions. I'm Yvonne Wheaton. I represent the marketing department at Software Diversified Services. I have over 30 years in the IT business, both in system shops and enterprise vendor environment. I'll be your moderator today, as well as presenting the EBS overview and enhancement section. Dana Gerard, an SDS support engineer, has been with SDS for 17 years, working in technical support and on the internal IT infrastructure. He has been providing support of the eBusiness Server on the distributed platforms since day one of the SDS acquisition of EBS. Deb Hodson is also on the line with us today. Deb is a sales manager at SDS and has 30-plus years in the IT business, having been at IBM, HP, Candle, and now SDS, all in sales and consulting roles. And Colin Vanderos, our own senior systems engineer here at SDS, has over 25 years of experience as a customer at a large bank. He's been at SDS for several years now, focused on network software solutions and security solutions. Dana, Deb, and Colin will be joining us for the Q&A session. SDS, or Software Diversified Services, has been providing mainframe solutions to the marketplace for over 33 years. Our headquarters are located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. SDS now supports over 20 enterprise-wide products, including ZOS, MVS, VSE, and VM mainframe systems, and distributed products for more than 1,000 clients worldwide. Our flagship products are dedicated to network management, security solutions, and performance solutions. Over the years, we've developed more solutions for the distributed environment. We've added to our mainframe portfolio, and we've partnered with key subject matter experts for excellent software solutions. We're proud of our world-class support. SDS is a leading provider of enterprise infrastructure software for multi-platforms with a 30-plus year history of delivering award-winning support and customer-centric IT infrastructure solutions. Our development staff is continually providing rich, robust updates and enhancements to our products. SDS has strived to bring software solutions to the marketplace that provide both cost savings while using elegant and state-of-the-art functionality. We're invested in eBusiness Server, as our track record shows. Software Diversified Services provided day one support of all sales, technical support, maintenance, and development responsibilities for EBS. SDS's commitment means this enterprise-scale encryption server will remain a trusted data security tool for years to come. SDS E-Business Server is a gold standard in PGP encryption technology for securing sensitive corporate data at rest, in transit, or being accessed internally or externally by business partners. It can easily share data with business partners regardless of the partner's data security preference or computing platform, enabling compliance with key regulations and backed by award-winning SDS support team. E-Business Server was initially developed for commercial use by cryptography pioneer Phil Zimmermann and features the industry's most advanced algorithms and key management to encrypt and decrypt data. SDS E-Business Server software is easy to install and use, with straightforward APIs to integrate security with applications and processes. It's available on multiple platforms including z/OS, USS, Linux, Windows, AIX, HP/UX, and Solaris. Let's cover some of these privacy and security compliance measures that EBS ensures. HIPAA. HIPAA requires the establishment of national standards for electronic healthcare transactions and national identifiers for providers, health insurance plans, and employers. As a result of SOX, top management must individually certify the accuracy of financial information. The Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard is a proprietary information security standard for organizations that handle branded credit cards from major card schemes. Corporate security policy may require security of company information. Your trade partners as well may require that you adhere to these regulations and encrypt your data. I'd like to share this quote from one of our customers at a large financial institution. They said, "We wanted to secure data better, provide improved service to customers, and make it all auditable. That was the goal of the new project." The support with SDS really made a difference. It allowed us to bring on board the project, controlling hundreds of customers, internally and externally, with secure data. This chart details a few areas of concern in today's business services. Services you and I use every day, whether online filling out our health form for our next appointment or buying a present to be shipped to our families. Financial institutions by law require data at rest and in transit is secure inside and outside of the company. HIPAA states that personal information must be kept secure by the healthcare companies. Data must have compliance, data encryption, and decryption. Data loss protection is key. Retail data per the PCI must be protected. In April of 2014, the Heartbleed virus affected OpenSSL files and was revealed to have impacted 17% of the world's secured servers. You're probably familiar with some of the latest data breaches. The latest in a long line of high-profile cyber attacks was the T-Mobile Experian breach of 15 million companies' data, and it happened just a few weeks ago. In the Ashley Madison data breach, around 37 million people were affected. Ashley Madison is an online dating service and social network service. The website, whose slogan is "Life is short, have an affair," is marketed to facilitate extramarital affairs. Reuters reported that Ashley Madison had encryption on financial data, but not email data. Aside from the impact on many millions of customers' relationships, accounts of federal workers, including a DHS employee who worked on a counterterrorism response team, according to the Associated Press, could lead to a considerable blackmail and espionage effort against the US, UK, and allied countries. IBM and Ponemon Institute released the 2015 Cost of Data Breach Study, Global Analysis. 2015 study included 350 companies representing 11 countries. According to the research, the average total cost of a data breach for the participating companies increased 23% over the past 2 years to $3.79 million. The National Institute of Standards and Technology defines cybersecurity as the process of protecting information by preventing, detecting, and responding to attacks. You need to ensure that all sensitive data is encrypted, not only during transfer, but also in storage within the enterprise network, and therefore safe from misuse even if it's stolen or a device is misplaced. Big data is a huge topic these days. Private data, which is stored in-house, as well as public data, data that can be transmitted or shared inside or outside brick and mortar business walls, needs to be secure. E-Business Server secures and protects sensitive customer and business data end-to-end in storage, in transit, and during access. It automates and consistently administers security processes for compliance with major regulations. Encryption, compression, digital signing, data integrity, and authentication. It conserves bandwidth and increases transfer speed with built-in compression. EBS is easy to install and use, including APIs for easy integration with applications and processes. Preserved your IT investment, allowing encryption on one platform, decryption on another, with broad platform support. Windows, AIX, HP UX, Linux, Solaris, and IBM z/OS. Is commercially supported and backed by our customer-centric support at SDS. EBS is an automated, comprehensive security product to protect and encrypt a wide variety of data in transit and at rest, without user interface, including email, file transfers, archives, and desktops. APIs and mainframe scripting that allow encryption to be integrated with applications and batch processes. It features a simple command structure or optional native application program interfaces, APIs, including C, C++, COM, Rex, and Java, to seamlessly integrate into existing applications and encryption processes and enable new ones. Automatic ASCII to EBCDIC and EBCDIC to ASCII character set conversions for easy integration of IBM, Unix, and Windows. Efficient, secure communications, including large files. EBS supports large files exceeding 400 gigabytes with built-in compression up to 50 to 80% based on zLive algorithms, improving security by eliminating recurring patterns in the data before it's encrypted. Fast, secure transmissions save bandwidth and disk space and improve transmission speed with all-in-one encryption, authentication, and compression for files of 4 GB or more. E-Business Server is based on a widely accepted and highly trusted public key encryption system. You may accumulate many keys in the course of using E-Business Server. Over time, you may want to view, update, or remove the keys on the key ring. All operations on your key rings actually apply to both key rings at once, private key and public key. Digital signatures provide authentication and data integrity. Non-repudiation means it prevents the sender from claiming that he or she did not actually send the information. EBS supports X509 certificates. An X509 is a very common certificate format. Certification requires someone to validate that you are who you say you are. To obtain an X509 certificate, you must ask a certification authority to issue you one. EBS provides complete cross-platform support. Multi-platform encryption encrypts data end-to-end among a wide range of environments. IBM z/OS, AIX, HP, Solaris, Windows, and Linux. E-Business Server automates data protection by incorporating the industry's strongest encryption algorithms. Conventional symmetric encryption is where one key is used for encryption and decryption. Asymmetric is where a pair of keys, a public key and a private key, is used for encryption and decryption. The hash algorithm preference is used for signing and encrypt and sign operations. Hash functions keep track of cryptographic hash value changes. EBS features include automatic encryption of email, unified browser-based controls for managing multiple key and certification servers, and data compression, all this with simple setup, installation, and maintenance. E-Business Server uses a cryptographically strong hash function. Hash functions generate a message digest that becomes a part of the digital signature. As long as a secure hash function is used, the slightest change to a signed document will cause the digital signature to fail. You can specify which hash algorithm E-Business Server should use. Hash algorithms include MD5, SHA-1, SHA-2, and RIPE MD160. EBS combines some of the best features of both conventional and public key cryptography. It is a hybrid crypto system. First, it is compressed, which reduces patterns in plain text and saves space and transmit time, but more importantly, it strengthens cryptographic security. It then creates a one-time only secret random session key. The data is encrypted, then the session key is encrypted to the recipient's public key. Then the public key, encrypted session key, is transmitted along with the ciphertext to the recipient. You can configure E-Business Server to perform in a specific way. For example, you can specify what encryption and hash algorithms E-Business Server should use. Tell E-Business Server to add a specific comment to everything you encrypt. Always encrypt a copy of your data to your own key as well as your recipient's. Set the level of skepticism E-Business Server should use in determining whether other keys are valid, and so on. Decryption works in reverse. The recipient uses their private key to recover the session key, which EBS then uses to decrypt the conventionally encrypted ciphertext. E-Business Server is based on a widely accepted and highly trusted public key encryption system in which two complementary keys, called a key pair, are used to maintain secure communications. Symmetric key encryption is an extremely simple form of encryption. Symmetric key encryption is where one key is used for encryption as well as decryption, whereas asymmetric key encryption requires both public key and private key. Your public key is used during the encryption of the data. When you receive the data, you use your private key to decrypt the data. The primary benefit to the public key cryptography is that it allows people with no pre-existing security to exchange messages securely. E-Business Server provides you with three key types: DHDSS, or Diffie-Hellman-Elgamal, also called DHDSA. RSA version 3, we also refer to as RSA legacy keys, and RSA version 4. DHDSS generates two prompts to define encryption and signing keys separately. RSA provides a single prompt to define a single size for two keys, encryption and signing. RSA legacy provides a single prompt for a single key for both encryption and signing. You can specify which encryption algorithm E-Business Server should use to encrypt the session key. Note that RSA legacy keys will always use IDEA. There are 7 values for the cipher algorithm: 3 DES or triple DES, AES 128, AES 192, AES 256, Cas5, IDEA, and 2FISH. EBS provides support for easy-to-use, strong encryption and authentication services to your entire enterprise across a broad band of platforms and applications. For distributed platforms, we support Linux Red Hat, Linux SUSE, Microsoft Windows, and Windows Server, Solaris version 9 and later, IBM AIX 5.1 and later, and HP UX 11+. So let's go into our enhancement list. SDS acquired E-Business Server in 2013. Day 1 support on October 1st was for version 8.6. We quickly followed with a maintenance release for outstanding issues. Our 8.8 release included enhancements for zlib decompression, SHA-2 support, DSA 1024-bit signing key, default value updates, along with maintenance and documentation updates. In 8.81 EBS, the compress algo parameter in the PGP default.config file can alter the preferred compression algorithm. By default, zlib will be followed by zip. Support was added for the zlib decompress and inflate options. SHA-224 DSA key support. We updated the user interface admin console to allow passing of the compress algo option. We provided maintenance updates as needed. We do have an online help as well in our products, which gets updated along with our maintenance. Our upcoming E-Business Server, version 9.0, we added the zlib deflate capability. Deflate is used to compress data a section at a time. and/or to compress to other formats. A new installer for Windows, you don't have to uninstall first. It basically performs like an upgrade. It is more convenient, efficient, and less time-consuming. We increase the number of concurrent threads to improve performance. We have a 64-bit support for Windows and Linux. This 64-bit enhancement was requested by a lot of our existing eBiz customers. It will allow customers to be able to install eBusiness Server on operating systems that exploit 64-bit technology like Windows 7 and upward. We have a COM layer that supports major programming languages like Visual Basic, C#, Managed C and C++, and Unmanaged C and C++, as well as our maintenance and documentation updates. Here's a screenshot of the eBusiness Server Admin Utility Console. You can use the console to create and manage keys and configure eBusiness Server. This screen on the admin client shows the list of keys that you've generated. Here I have highlighted one of the keys, and I can see now the properties for that key at the bottom portion of the screen. Our multi-vendor support for eBusiness Server also includes ZOS and ZOS USS 1.6 and later. SDS acquired all platforms for EBS in 2013. Day 1 support on October 1st for ZOS was for version 7.5. We quickly provided necessary support for API languages C, C++, Java, and Rex. We included performance improvements along with link pack area installation support. Our 7.1 release provided identification of software diversified services and the product renaming. We incorporated known McAfee fixes and considered this our base release for future enhancements. 7.6.2 through 7.6.4 were major maintenance releases along with USS MVS early EPSIDIC support. We updated PGP reader version, implemented translation switch Translate 71 to toggle between the B152 and the new B160 translation. In eBusiness Server 7.7, we added DSA support to allow signing keys greater than 1024 bits. We added zlib support and SHA-512 support, as well as new prompts and new key types for DSS with selectable signature. In EBS 7.7.1, we continue to add DSA support with 2048 and 3072-bit signing keys. We added zlib decompression support, and we increased the number of concurrent threads for increased performance. SHA support included SHA-224, 256, 384, and 512 hash functions. In EBS 7.8, zlib deflate was added, increasing the support of zlib functions. The deflate option is used to compress data a portion at a time and/or to compress other formats. An ISPF user interface was added for ease of use, which I'll be showing you in a minute. Dataset support was improved, making it more robust and dependable and improving PDS or partition dataset support, as well as any maintenance and documentation updates. Here's a screenshot of our new ISPF interface that will be available with eBusiness Server Release 7.8, a new feature that allows you to invoke eBusiness Server commands from a TSO panel. Option 1 allows you to perform key management functions like generating a new key, adding, removing, and exporting a key. You can list details for keys in a key ring, and you can sign existing keys in a key ring. Option 4 allows you to encrypt a file using a public key. This could be handy when running a test to test a customer's public and private key pair. Here's Option 5. Option 5 can be used to map a PGP file. This is a new tool to help customers and support determine issues with files generated by the eBusiness product, and this includes the keyring files. The tools will dump the information out for the PGP tags available in the file being inspected. The tags dumped are described in the RFC 4880 that deals with the OpenPGP message format. So remember, you'll need to upgrade to version 7.8 when it's available for this new feature. I'd like to cover some technical support information from SDS. I'd like to cover some SDS technical support information. Customer satisfaction is our first consideration at Software Diversified Services. We understand that if you experience difficulty, you need our response quickly and effectively. To get help with E-Business Server, please phone us or email us or submit a support request. SDS has technicians on call 24/7. We have an automated issue submission tool at issues.sdsusa.com where you can also send us an enhancement request. We provide chat, web, and phone support with automatic remote desktop control. For fast response outside regular business hours, always phone rather than using email or the website. Technical support for E-Business Server on any platform. Product upgrades and updates are included as a standard part of every license. Alerts and remediation advice regarding new security threats as they become known. Support account managers provide a single point of contact, an unlimited number of contacts with tech support. Technicians who work closely with our product developers will address your problem as quickly and thoroughly as we possibly can. Some information you will want to have available when you contact us. Version. What's the version number of your e-business server? Environment. What version and release of a platform that you're using? ZOS, AIX, etc. Do your connections involve firewalls, VPNs? What version of Java do you use? Your account number. Your e-business server grant number or SDS customer account number can help us identify what software you have. Here's a pie chart of our total issues since SDS has had e-business server. The smallest section, which is categorized as other, environmental, unsupported, cannot reproduce, and configuration error. In that order, they're either less or slightly greater than 1% of the issues received for each area. The largest sections, fixed and questions answered, represent 70%, a good portion of our client interaction. We have been extremely responsive, and this shows that SDS has had a very positive impact on the e-business server product since our acquisition. We've shown that we support and provide quick response to our clients when issues come into our award-winning technical team. Support and further development of e-business server by SDS has the advantage of teaming with the company's other security tools. Along with e-business server, that provides a simple-to-use infrastructure for PGP encryption throughout an enterprise, where we have shown that we are invested in the success and future growth of EBS through our support, continued maintenance, and enhancements. We have vital signs for FTP, software that automates enforcement of security standards throughout enterprises, low overhead security, and automation for file transfer. And SSH Corporation's collaboration software, SSH Tectia, provides SSH encryption for data in transit throughout networks. Remember, we can provide a free trial for these products. Let us show you how they work together. We'll start our Q&A session in a minute. Remember, if you have any questions, please send them to us in your chat box. You can also send us your questions after this presentation via email to info@sdsusa.com.